Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you I say shalom. In this video, I got this video pulled up by this man called Gonzalo Lira. That's his YouTube channel down here. But if you look at the title, it says confirmed: the Americans destroyed Nord Stream. Now I was listening to this and I watched the whole video, but in the beginning part, he talks about how he received this information. Pretty much some reporter ended up writing an article or a book about this. I think it was an article, Salakia. Now that I'm trying to do this video, I can't really recall what he said, but brothers can go ahead and watch this video, and because this shows you right here that hey, all these nations are starting to wake up and see, or at least it's being revealed how Esau, or at least how the Americans work. And you're going to start seeing a lot of these countries that are allies with America, start to hate America. Just because of how treacherously America has been dealing with them. Right? But let me go ahead and play a couple minutes off this video, and then I'll get some precepts. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
And what's important is when they ordered it.
Let me go back.
The important thing is who ordered it, and it was Joe Biden who really wanted this. And what's important is when they ordered it. Joe Biden and his little coterie approved this plan in the fall of 2021. Now, this is crucial. It's crucial because of the following reasons. Number one, in the fall of 2021, the administration had already made it to its mind that it was going to provoke Russia into a war. That was the only reason to go ahead with this kind of terrorist activity. And make no mistake, destroying the Nord Stream pipelines was terrorism. State-funded, state-directed terrorism.
That's right, man. Hey, y'all Americans, y'all like to point fingers, pretty much saying, no, that guy's a terrorist. This country's has terrorist capabilities. These people are terrorists. So on and so forth. But really, y'all damn Edomites, y'all so-called Americans, y'all the true terrorists. America is going really Esau in general. Just going around place to place, man, terrorizing. Destabilizing countries, right? Taking their resources. Man, y'all are the terror of the world, man. You over here pointing fingers at other people, calling them terrorists, but y'all are the main terrorists. Y'all are the terrorists of the terrorists. Y'all are the ones that's going around the world causing mayhem. But let me continue on.
The thing that the United States accuses everybody else of doing, they did it. The Americans.
That's right.
And for them to say that, law and justice, and fuck you, man. They are terrorists. They carried this out. And they did it in the fall of 2021. They gave the order in the fall of 2021 because they were egging on the Russians into a war. Nothing that the Russians could have done, would have prevented this escalation and the increasing provocations that eventually led to the Russians carrying out the invasion of Ukraine. Okay? And that's the first item. Second item. The only people that this really hurts is the Germans. With Seymour Hersh's revelations, nobody in Germany can now state that they are ignorant as to who carried out this attack. Seymour Hersh's reputation and the fact that he's at the end of his life, because he's an elderly gentleman, I do believe he's something like 85 years old. So he's old enough that he doesn't give a shit. Okay, he's doing it for a love of the craft, if you will, because
Yeah, that was the guy that he mentioned earlier in the beginning who revealed this information. All right, so let's carry on.
at that age, what are they going to do, man? And on top of that, he's financially independent, so he doesn't care. So this is true. And so Germans can no longer pretend to themselves that their biggest ally, the United States, did not directly try to destroy their economy, because that's what they succeeded in doing with the Nord Stream.
Right, and every time a country goes to war with another country, you got to understand this. These countries are corporations. What do corporations do? Make money. They're into the money business, right? They're out to make profits. So by United States, going out there and destroying their pipeline, for fuel, which you need fuel, to run your economy, because otherwise, how people gonna get to and from work, right? Have supplies being imported and transported. How you gonna do that without no fuel, right? So by doing that, you're gonna shut down this country's economy, which is an act of war. If people can't pay bills because they can't get to work, and that's gonna hit all these people, really in Germany mainly, at least for now, but eventually it's gonna hit the whole rest of Europe. But either ways, by doing that, all these people are gonna start, you're gonna start seeing, um, riots. You're gonna start seeing these countries call out America on their bullshit. You're gonna start seeing, like I said, just protests and all this shit. But this information, like I said, it's clear, especially if more information comes out on America's treachery. It's gonna be clear how these countries are gonna end up coming and fighting against America because of how America deals with them. They're allies, but yet they throw them, under the bus. They use them, even though these are vassal states, right? Germany is a vassal state to America, but America is pretty much using and abusing them. Doesn't matter what happens to them, to America. It doesn't matter what happens to Germany. It's all about forwarding their goals, whatever goal that may be, for them to. Well, I guess the this man right here, Gonzalo Lira, pretty much explaining how they're trying to. The whole purpose was to go to war, right? But later, sooner, later through time, we're gonna start seeing the true plans of Esau. His plans are gonna be revealed, right? His hand is gonna be exposed. But anyway, let me continue on a little bit more on this.
Terrorist act. Okay? So this was not just the United States carrying out the destruction of Russian property. It was carrying out the destruction of the German economy. Now, In the United States, people are going to be like, maybe shrug their shoulders or like, oh yeah, well, who else could it have been, kind of thing, right? But in Germany, in Europe, this is going to go off like a nuclear bomb. Because really, how else could a German citizen, a German politician, view this destruction of Nord Stream as anything other than an act of war by the United States against the German economy? Already, you are seeing the Germans. They're slowly kind of trying to walk back the shipments of tanks to Ukraine, which they were pressured into. That Olaf Scholz really he feels he was double crossed, because he said his condition to sending Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine was if the Americans sent their M1 tanks. And the Americans said, sure, we'll do it. And then after Olaf Scholz started shipping the Leopard 2 tanks, or getting ready to ship them, the Americans said, oh yeah, but it's going to take a while for us to send our M1s, maybe next year or the year after that. I mean, they played Olaf Scholz, and apparently Olaf Scholz is furious. And Olaf Scholz's political position as Chancellor of Germany is deteriorating. So, do you think that Olaf Scholz, to hold on to power, is not going to grab onto the story and make as much political hay out of it as it can? And do you think that this will not affect Germany's view of the United States? And not just Germany, the rest of Europe, and indeed the rest of the world, and the Germans most especially, are going to realize that the Americans are willing to sabotage and potentially destroy one of their allies for the sake of pursuing their geopolitical agenda. How do you think the rest of the world is going to feel about that? How do you think Japan, or Australia, for instance, is going to feel about the fact that the Americans had no trouble whatsoever throwing Germany under the bus for the sake of somehow hurting the Russian economy?
That's right.
Do you think that the Australians or the Japanese are going to be, psyched to be first in line as a sacrificial lamb to a Sino-American war come 2025? I think not. I think that they're going to look at this situation, not right now, once the aftershocks of this, have flown through, but eventually they're going to start asking themselves, do we want to be thrown under the bus of the Americans as they go after China the way Germany was thrown under the bus? You see my point? These revolutions are a disaster. I mean, the whole plan to destroy Nord Stream by the Americans was insane because of the political and diplomatic dangers that this entails. The rest of the world is not going to trust the United States at all. And they are not going to be willing to go with the US insofar as a war with China. The United States is isolating itself in a way that will not be able to be repaired for years, perhaps decades. And every single friend, quote unquote, that the Americans have at this point are going to be just smiling at the Americans and trying to figure out a way how to get out from under the thumb and out from the threat of the Americans. Because with friends like the Americans, who needs enemies?
All right, well, I'm gonna stop it there. Let's go ahead and get some scriptures. Hey, but that's that's a good point, man. Hey, with friends like Americans, who needs enemies, right? The motherfuckers do that to you and you're his ally. This over here, destroying your economy, fucking up your whole shit. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's like, like I said, like, that's why it's evident how a lot of these countries are going to start hating America for the way America deals with its allies. Very treacherously, man. Stabbing them in the back, just so they can, like that man made mention, man. They can forward their agenda, right? But let me get this real quick. This is Nahum 3 and verse 5. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." Now, this is talking about Nineveh, but We're pretty much living in modern day Nineveh, right? And this is exactly what, the Most High is doing to America. He's discovering, he's lifting up America's skirt, showing the nations the treachery that Esau has lying underneath, right? All the secrets that America has. Pretty much showing the world that this ain't your ally. This is your enemy. He's just using you, right? Hey, and these other nations, man, they ain't gonna take this kindly. They're gonna start being wary and cautious of America, right? Now, let me get another one. This is Isaiah. This one's talking about the Babylonians. This is Isaiah 47 and verse 3. It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen." We're seeing nowadays, man, America being exposed on all levels. On all levels. Esau's agendas, Esau's plans, man, he's being exposed. His level of secrecy that he used to have ain't the same as it used to be. Now that you got the unicorn, right, the internet, information just goes out, man. That's what you had one of those damn devils know. He said, we shouldn't have invented the internet. Why? Because this, first of all, this truth, right? The true knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scriptures is being broadcasted through those airways, right? Through the unicorn. And secondly, you got him being exposed on all levels. All kind of wickedness, all kinds of plots and plans that he has, right? All these conspiracies that he has, hidden. It's all being exposed. He can't hide himself no more. That power of hiding behind the shadows that he always had is gone, right? It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." That's right. This time, the Lord ain't gonna meet um Esau like a man. He's gonna come like a lion, man. He's gonna come in them chariots. But anyway, let me get this. 2 Thessalonians, because like I said, Esau's secrecy or power of secrecy is no more. He can't hide behind the shadows no more. Now the Most High is forcing him to come out to the forefront, and eventually, he's gonna have to. He's gonna show his wickedness. He's gonna show who he really is. He ain't gonna be able to hide himself, right? This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work," right? Because back then it was a mystery of why was pretty much all kinds of wickedness spreading throughout the earth. Why is this happening? Why, is the earth getting polluted? Why, why? That was the question. Why is all this happening? But now we know. It's Esau, the son of perdition. And he is being revealed, man. Continuously being revealed that he is the wicked. He is the devil. Right? That the Bible speaks of. Right? The son of perdition. He's being revealed, man. Constantly being exposed. But it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." That's right. Until he be taken out of the way. And who's the one that's letting him do or get away? Well, he ain't gotten away yet. The Most High is gonna judge him for everything he's done, but it seems like he's getting away with it. Right? So who is letting him do all these things? The Most High. He's in charge of all this. The Most High is letting this dude pile up his sins, pile up his iniquity until he has, reached the limit. Once he reached that ceiling, that limit, hey, that's it. And it's funny, Esau over here reaching his debt ceiling too. But hey, it's all to the spirit Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. His limit has reached, man. And now it's time for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to return and to put an end to this man. And like it says, he's gonna be taken out of the way. His kingdom is gonna be no more. He's gonna be wiped out. Well, eventually wiped out the face of the earth. But first, he's gonna have to serve his sentencing. He's gonna have to drink of that cup, man, that cup of slavery. But let me get this. Isaiah 14 and verse 16. It says, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" Right, in the kingdom, man, once you get taken down, everybody's gonna be like, "Whoa, is this a man?" You know? It says says that this is a man who made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, right, through his military might. To Esau's military might and his blessing of the sword, he was able to do this. Bring terror upon the earth. And like I mentioned earlier, man, y'all Edomites, man, are the real terrorists of the earth. I mean, y'all have a track record of all kinds of atrocities. So that's some nerve that you got, man, pointing fingers, telling somebody else they're terrorists, they're this, they're that. You're a hypocrite. You do the exact same thing, if not worse. Right? But let me read 17. It says, "That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners." Esau had no mercy, man. What that scripture say? Let me see. Show no mercy. God damn it. Let me see. This is James 2:13. It says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that show no mercy," man. You're right. The Most High is going to judge Esau with no mercy. There'll be no mercy for Esau. Why? Because he showed no mercy to nobody, especially to us Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Right? Let me see. What's that precept? I can't remember that precept. It says, how did it go? Pretty much how Esau didn't show no mercy or no favor to the young or old. Roughly paraphrase. I forgot how it went. But either ways, man. Esau showed no mercy to Jake. Once he had the opportunity to take us over. Hey, well, even when we left Egypt, when the Most High delivered us out of Egypt, there was Amalek just waiting, man, shooting the weak, getting the stragglers from the very back of the line, shooting them with the arrows, pretty much killing the weak. Esau's a grimy motherfucker, man. He don't give a fuck. And like I said, this man showed no mercy to us, so hey, no mercy is gonna be shown to him, right? But it says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that show no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment," right? So now from here, let's get Revelation, because like I said, we can see now how America's allies is gonna end up turning against her, right? This is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, "And the 10 horns, which are them vassal states, right, that Esau has, pretty much is the 10 horns is talking about NATO, right, the EU, right? It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast," Salakia, it says, "these shall hate the whore." See, and we're seeing that, man. Hey, and moving more and more to these days that's coming to in these last days, we're gonna start seeing a lot more of these countries start hating the whore. Just like 2 years ago or a year ago, you saw France get pissed off at America because of how they took that nuclear deal away from them. They pretty much stole the deal. And now you got this with Germany. And things are just gonna get worse and worse for America, man. Right? Like Gonzalo Liro said, America's isolating herself because of how she's conducting herself right now. Esau is in desperation mode, so he's doing anything, man. He's throwing people under the bus. He's pushing people in front of him to take the hit. So now we're seeing how America is treating its allies, and these nations are seeing it. Their own allies are seeing it too. Eventually, they're gonna come up against her. They're gonna, start talking. They probably have little councils in the background, behind the scenes, talking shit about America, right? Talking about how they should, just stop being allies with her. But right now, America's too powerful to just come up against. So right now, they have no choice but to, put on that poker face. Who knows, right? But we know that this will happen. But this is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." Right, man. So ultimately, when the end of America comes, all of its allies are gonna be shooting nuclear missiles over here. They're gonna say, "To hell with this bitch," right? So from here, let me get Obadiah, and we're gonna close it out with this one. I didn't want to make this too long. Hold on. It was Obadiah 1 and verse 7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border. The men that are at peace with thee have deceived thee." Right? All those that are confederate with, um, this whore, Babylon, America. Right? All of them are going to be confederate against her. Like we read in Revelation 17 and 16, those 10 horns, which is NATO, the EU, all these countries, they're going to hate the whore. They used to be allies with America. They're going to hate her because of what she is doing. Like we read in Nahum 3 and 5. You know, all these things is being brought up. You know, the Most High is lifting up the skirt, exposing America for what it truly is, right? So let me read this again. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They shall eat thy bread. They that eat thy bread, Salakia, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So yeah, man, hey, all these other nations, man, they're gonna fight against you, man, and we're seeing it, clearly. It's obvious to us, but now we're starting to see how this is starting to come to pass. Now we're starting to see how all these things, prophecy is lining up, man. Things is getting set up to go down, right? But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had. You know, America, your allies are gonna end up fighting against you. But hey, it's all prophecy. It's got to be fulfilled. That's one more step closer for us to get out of here, right? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the whole for elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, and Abba Ball.